Hey everyone, Shabim here and welcome to our first proper episode of our New Japan Pro Wrestling Universe mode. A big one for you tonight. If you've not watched the end of the G1 Climax Festival, I do suggest you watch that first because this will probably contain spoilers as we get right in to our New Japan Universe mode. And we're going to be starting this universe mode off with a bang as AJ Styles takes on Kenny Omega. And here we go then. First of all, we have Mr. AJ Styles, a phenomenal one himself. And of course, the beaten finalist in the G1 Climax tournament. Of course, losing to Shibata in the finals. So fortunately for AJ, he walks away finalist with absolutely nothing. And here is his opponent, for some reason not doing the correct role. It is going to be Mr. Kenny Omega. Omega's supposed to be at the front. For some reason, the game decides to change him around every time. I don't know why I bother setting these entrances up, because they never seem to do the right bloody thing when they do anyway. Kenny Omega, of course, was beaten in the last 8 quarterfinals. Went on to the United States Championship match. Was unable to win that, so walked away again from that tournament with absolutely nothing. And here we go into Omega versus Styles with Nick and Matt Jackson at ringside. I think we'll take this opportunity to have a quick chat about AEW, All Elite Wrestling. If you've not heard about it, it's the hot new thing in the wrestling world. Still, in my mind, I don't want to go over the top in my mind. Don't quite know what level they're going to be at, but sort of judging by what they've done so far, I feel like it's going to be a big one, you know. I really do. I also feel like it could be the death of TNA, but we'll come to that bridge when we come to it. I think I wasn't quite sure how big they were going to be. I thought the All-In pay-per-view was a success, of course. It did very, very well, but I wasn't quite sure what to expect from AEW when it was announced. Obviously, we knew the Bucks would be there. We knew Cody would be there. We knew Hangman Page would be there. Of course, there's heavy rumours that when Marty Scurll's contract at Ring of Honor ends at the end of during this year, he'll be joining as well. There's obviously rumours about Omega at the end of this month. He's got the decision between WWE and All Elite Wrestling, and I wasn't quite sure what to expect from it until I saw the press conference and saw that both Chris Jericho and Neville have both been signed up. Now, those are 2 massive signings. Those signings really show what they have to work with. Now, Jericho said he wasn't there for the money, he was there to change the universe. Now, they must be offering a certain amount of money, because if we look at TNA, they've been rumoured with Jericho for quite some time, and they've never quite been able to get that deal over the line. So the fact that AEW been able to get him locked in straight away is quite impressive. They are looking at TV time with a massive TV networks in America, which are worth a lot of money as well. So there's a chance this could be an absolutely fantastic show, and if it's run differently from WWE, if it's run more for the wrestling fans rather than for the merchandise opportunities, I feel like it could be a very, very successful company. Been hearing a lot of rumours today about people leaving WWE. AJ Styles' contract expires this year, later this year, as does Gallows and Anderson's contracts expire end of this year as well. So there is potential that they could use their relationships in the world of wrestling and use unhappiness in the world of wrestling to maybe get what they want, and there's an opportunity of maybe Shinsuke now. I don't know if Shinsuke's happy where he is. to be honest. It's difficult to tell. I don't think he's quite got what he was hoping to get from WWE. It's not quite been as successful as he wanted it to be, I don't think. But then again, I don't know what's going on in Shinsuke's mind, but just in my opinion, that's the way I would look at it. As also AJ Styles, the same sort of thing as well. I think AJ's done pretty well, actually, yeah. But then you've got people like the Revival who have never quite been given the push they deserve, and Gallows and Anderson for me in WWE have never really got what they wanted either. And there's a few. I mean, Dolph Ziggler's always been one that's been linked. Rusev. But there's never ever been anywhere for these guys to go that was competitive enough to really warrant it. I mean, leaving WWE and going to TNA I don't think was quite the... it was a bit of a drop. It was a bit of a massive drop. It was going back on the indie scene more or less. So having a major company to compete with means that these wrestlers are now going to have somewhere to go if they are unhappy. And I feel like quite a few people might take that opportunity up. I mean... yeah, Ziggler and Rusev have always been two. I mean, we know there's a good relationship between the Bucks and the Hardy Boys as well. There's a few people in New Japan. I seem to recall reading some stuff a few months ago when New Japan changed ownership and quite a few of the big names were unhappy with that change and were unhappy with the people that came in. And maybe they could poach some people there. They've obviously know a lot of people up and down the indie scene. It could be a really, really interesting thing. And I think for us as wrestling fans, just having that competition, having that something different, I think is going to be a massive, massive benefit for us, because the best time in wrestling history, as what most people would say, was the Attitude Era, and that was the one time when WWE had viable competition. They had to put on fantastic TV because nobody watched it if they didn't. So now having a big competitor like AEW, if they are a big competitor, as we don't know what sort of level they're going to be at yet, if they do, then that's only going to mean that they have got to try harder. And I think that might be one of the reasons why Vince has started this whole "we're going to do things for the fans" mantra that he tried a few weeks back, because he did know about this, because it was said today that Jericho had informed Vince and Hunter that he was going to be signing this contract with AEW. So they knew about this beforehand. They knew about this a couple of weeks ago. Maybe that's why they hit the massive reset button and decided to start giving the fans what they wanted, rather than working on merchandise sales. And maybe that's hopefully what we're looking at. But who knows? There's a lot of big names that could end up there. A lot of people that are not utilised very well in WWE, and AJ Styles picks up the 1, 2, 3. Nice little rhyme in there for you. So it's going to be a really interesting thing to keep an eye on, and of course, as I find things out, I'm sure you guys will know as much as I do, that as I do find things out, I will let you know in the videos, just in case we spot anything. And again, if there's anything you guys find out, let me know in the comment section down below. It's always fun to know these sort of things, but for me it's a really exciting time. I mean, if we can get a massive competitor to WWE, let's just hope, from my point of view, I know a lot of you viewers out there from America, but from my point of view, let's just hope that we do get a TV deal in the UK as well, and hopefully not on Sky Sports. So, because I don't know what it's like in America, but in the UK all the WWE shows are on Sky Sports, which for us is about, I think it's like £45–50 a month, which is, I don't know what the exchange rate is, man, about $75 to $100, something like that, a month to have Sky Sports. It's not worth it for us, which is why a lot of us ended up just watching it on dodgy websites, because we're not paying for that sort of stuff. I don't know in the US if it's on standard television or what, but if it's on standard television, AEW could really overtake them. I mean, at one point, I know Impact Wrestling was beating WWE's TV ratings in the UK in the heydays, so who knows? There's definitely a market here in the UK for them if they put it on normal TV. I mean, World of Sport, I believe World of Sport got one of the highest TV viewage in the last few years, but I think that's because it was on a terrestrial channel. It was on a channel that was free to every household, which is probably why they got such a large viewership, and the audience is there in this country, so why not give it to us? Hey. Anyway, that's enough AEW for now. Let's get into our second match of the evening, and I apologise for not talking much about that match, but I really wanted to get that stuff out of my head and into the airwaves. And here is our second match of the evening. El Desperado takes on Taiji Ishimori. And here he is then, Taiji Ishimori, making his... I can't hold it up, I do apologise. The reason I've made this match is because I mispronounced this guy's name so many times at Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know why, but I've never read his name properly. I've just looked at it briefly and just in my mind. You know when you do that, when you just sees something and your mind sees what it wants to see. I've always seen Tajiri. I never even noticed it's Taiji. Taiji Ishimori. I do apologise. I know I must have been driving some people mad. I did see the comments. So thank you for letting me know about that, because I never learn if you don't let me know. I can't believe that. I mean, I've not often heard his name being said. I see it written down a lot. I read a lot of results and that sort of stuff, but actually watching the shows, and I just, for some reason, I just always had in my mind it was Tajiri, but it's not. It's Taiji Ishimori. Unsuccessful then at Wrestle Kingdom for the Junior Heavyweight Championship, but this is his chance to prove what he can do here against El Desperado. And here we go, then here comes El Desperado. I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about this guy, so we're going to find out about him together. If you do know something about this guy, let me know. Is he actually Mexican or is he Japanese? I've got no idea. But let's find out. And here we go. So yeah, Taiji Ishimori versus El Desperado. Don't know much about El Desperado, like I said. I know he's part of the Suzuki Gun stable, or Suzuki Gun stable. I know he's a junior. Is he a junior heavyweight? I think he is, isn't he? Wasn't he not part of the tag team match at Wrestle Kingdom? I don't think he's Mexican. I'm going to assume he's Japanese but with a Mexican name. I'm not honestly sure, to be honest with you. I'm sure there's people out there that have much better knowledge than I do. I'm interested in this match. I think I would like to see Taiji Ishimori do pretty well. I mean, I would like to see him get himself back in that Junior Heavyweight Championship picture. And this is a great way to start things off with a victory here in episode number 1. Or episode number 2, technically, I suppose, isn't it? And in our main event tonight, I've not spoken about this yet, have I? We're going to have a number 1 contendership for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And that is going to be a match between Okada and Suzuki. Now, we'll explain that game. I'll explain that match a little bit later on when we get into the main event, but there is reasons behind those two names being picked. And it's going to be interesting, actually. Of course, remember the champion is Shibata. Shibata won the belt at the Wrestle Kingdom pay-per-view over AJ Styles in the final. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be pretty cool. Nice pin there after the standing Spanish fly from the top rope. That was it, yeah. Super Spanish fly. Oh, nice drop toe hold there by Taiji Ishimori. See, I'm getting his name right now. Look how good I am. 619. Heads up to the top. Got some distance on him there. What is he going for now? Nice. Super code breaker off the top. I can't help but feel like El Desperado may have helped out with that slightly. Just like walked into it sort of thing, you know. It was a bit of an oversell maybe. Desperado throwing Taiji into the corner. I don't know, if Desperado was to win this one, that would be a big boost for him. I don't really see him as much of a competitive threat in this one as such. I see him as more of a, I don't know, as more of a sort of undercarder. I don't see him as someone who's ever going to move on and go for a big championship, but I think wins and losses will determine that. And every Universe mode so far, there's always been someone that has come from nowhere that's really impressed me. I mean, if you look back at the World Cup, it was Jordan Devlin was the big one that really caught my eye in that one with some massive victories. There's always a few, I mean, isn't there? There's always a few that really just stand out for me. I mean, Drew Gulak's done pretty well so far in 205 Live as well. Now, we did say before, I think this Universe mode is going to end up being slightly longer than some of the other ones, just because it's got the depth and talent. It's also got some fantastic potential, and I feel like we can do some really cool stuff with this one. And I do have some plans in mind for some stuff, maybe some special shows, and I don't think we'll put like an end date on this one yet. We'll just go and see when it starts to become a bit stale, or when the views start to drop off, and then we'll look at doing something a little bit different. But for the moment, I'm really excited about this one, and I feel like there is a hell of a lot of potential with the amount of championships there are as well. I think there's going to be a great deal of depth in this one. And of course, 205 Live now is about halfway through. And when that one's done, the plan is to move on to NXT UK. However, we don't know as of yet if the cores are going to be available to make it good enough. If they are... Ooh. What's this? I will just point out that I've not set anything up for this match. This is completely random. I don't know what that is. I don't know who that was. So I've not set anything up. It looked a bit like maybe Shinsuke's... Problem is I've got entrance music turned off to not cause any problems with copyright. So I've got no idea who that was. It looked like Shinsuke's... It looked like Shinsuke's video, but I'm sure we'll have a look at the end because I'm sure it'll pop up as a feud. But that's going to be interesting. That's going to maybe spark something into life for us here, actually. That's always nice when the game does that. I mean, it doesn't do it as often as I would like it to do. But when it just sort of randomly starts these sort of things, that it does a lot of handshakes at the end and stuff like that, and nothing special. I want to see something out there happen. I want to see like an attack at the end. I want to see somebody make a running attack. I know I can set them up myself, don't get me wrong, but I want the game to take some initiative sometimes. A spear there by El Desperado. So it could have actually been one of El Desperado. I want that to happen as well. I would like to see. I would like to see the game actually send out maybe some teammates. Like Ishimori is part of the Bullet Club stable, and Desperado is part of the Suzuki Gun stable. So maybe guys coming out to distract the opponents to help their teammate win. There's the pin by Desperado for the 2. Only a 2 count. Desperado brings Ishimori back up. Ishimori with a boot in the back of the leg of Desperado. Went for the running bicycle kick, and Desperado just slapped him out the way. Rolls through with a bomb. Yeah, there's some cool stuff we're going to do on this one. I would like to potentially do a crossover show at some point as well. When worlds collide sort of thing. I think that would be really fun to do. Of course, they do it in real life with Ring of Honor, so that would be nice. There's a lot of options we can do for this one. Ishimori now stalking El Desperado. A boot in the gut. Up he goes. Nice. Dropped him. Gut first onto the knees. Taiji Ishimori the pin. 1, 2, and 3. It's a victory for Tajiri Ishimori. Taiji Ishimori. So who that was then? Who was that whose music kicked off and distracted Taiji Ishimori? I must admit, if it was Nakamura, I'm not completely against an Ishimori versus Nakamura match. I'm not. I mean, to sort of a jump for Ishimori to step up from that junior heavyweight division into more of a heavyweight strong style sort of area, but it's not completely out of the question. I think Bullet Club do need someone at the junior heavyweight division to sort of hold the belts down there. So it'd be interesting to see who that was, actually. We should find out in a second when the celebration finishes exactly who it was. I just assumed Nakamura because of the actual video, but it could have been anyone, really, because that video could have been reused for somebody else in the entrances. Taiji Ishimori looking pretty focused, actually. That's his first big win in this universe mode. Momentum is on his side. And now it's time for him to move forward and continue building that momentum. No, okay. There was no rivalry thing popped up. I've got no idea who that was then. No idea. Maybe as time goes on, we'll find out. And here we go then, our main event of the evening. We're going to find out who is going to main event our first pay-per-view alongside Shibata for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Will it be Okada or will it be Suzuki? Okay, well that's the same thing that popped up when in the previous match, isn't it? That's interesting. Here we are then, Kazuchika Okada. Now, the reason we made this match is because both these guys were wronged at one point or another in the G1 tournament. If you remember back to the group stages, Okada actually lost one of the matches that would have put him on 2 points, even top of the table and a chance to go into one of the triple threat matches. However, he was pinned while his foot was on the rope. Referee did not see it and called the 3 count, and the match ended. Therefore, we're giving Okada a chance for some retribution because of the poor job done by the referee. Can Okada take the opportunity and run with it? And here he is then. It's Suzuki. Now, Suzuki was wronged in the... He was wronged in the triple threat match when he was eliminated by Jay White via a low blow. Now, Suzuki has requested retribution against Jay White, which he will be getting in the next few episodes. He'll be getting a match one-on-one with Jay White. However, he's also getting this opportunity here to earn himself a shot in the main event against Shibata for the championship. I must admit, both of these guys make fantastic opponents for Shibata. Can you imagine the hard-hitting style match we would have with Suzuki and Shibata? That would be interesting. Straight away then, Okada slamming him down. And Okada really wants this match. And I said previously back in the G1, I said it's been weird over the last few years, because every time I brought Okada and Tanahashi into these universe modes, they've never done well. And I don't know why, because they're both rated very highly. They're both 90 plus. So why did they never do well? That's the weird thing. Tanahashi, for the first time, did do pretty well in the G1 Climax. Of course, getting to the semi-finals, beating in the semi-finals, and going on again to lose in the Intercontinental Championship match against Finn Balor. But Okada never even got out of the group stages. Like I said, if the referee had seen his foot on the ropes, who knows, things could have happened completely differently. But he didn't, and Okada lost that match and was knocked out of the group stages. So I think momentum-wise, I don't think Okada's going to be in a great scenario. I don't think Suzuki is either. Of course, Suzuki was also part of that tournament. I can't remember how far Suzuki got, to be honest. I don't think he got into the group stage. I think he was... yeah, he was in the triple... Oh, of course, I just said it, wasn't I? Yeah. He was in the triple threat between himself, Jay White, and Finn Balor. Is that right? I can't remember now. But Jay White eliminated Suzuki from that match with a massive low blow. Which is why, of course, he's in this match. As me saying, oh, I can't remember what he did. That's the reason why he's in this match. We said about it earlier. What a boob I am, I tell you. Okada sending Suzuki back into the ring. And now Okada looking to lock in a Rings of Saturn style submission here on Suzuki. I like the fact that when Neville started using that, they still called it the Rings of Saturn. Of course, as a homage to one of the first members to use the submission move in the big screen, which is, of course, Perry Saturn. I'd like to do an ECW universe mode at some point. They're pretty cool, and the Eliminators, Cronus and Saturn. I don't know how sort of old you guys are out there. I know I've got my analytics that do show some of it, but I know I talk about the Attitude Era. I must admit I was a little bit young. I'd say a little bit young. I caught the back end of the Attitude Era. I'd only really started to appreciate ECW after ECW had actually folded. I've got every single ECW show on DVD. I collected that off some guy in Japan, made all the DVDs and sent them to me from Japan. I collected them all. It took me about a year to affordable. It cost me well over 100 quid to buy them all. And then the bloody WWE Network comes out and puts all the ECW on there. I was gutted. I've still got them all though, all the ECW DVDs. Yeah, I'd love to do that sort of universe mode at some point. I've also thought about doing a PWG universe mode, which is something I didn't think about doing originally. Of course, we can now think about potentially doing an AEW universe mode at some point, but I think we might have to wait a little bit of time and find out some more information yet on what it is going to be. I like the way the whole thing is being sort of like, what was it? It was All In. Then there's going to be, I think the next one's called All or Nothing. And I think this one after that's going to be called Double or Nothing. It's all like gambling themed, which is exactly what this is. I mean, from the side of Cody and the Bucks, it is a gamble. It's a massive gamble. They've got to do this, and they've got to make it profitable. So it is a massive gamble for them. The interesting thing about this is if they were to fold and go under, WWE would buy them out, and then WWE would effectively own the contracts of the wrestlers, which means they would own the Bucks. I mean, they offered the Bucks a hell of a lot of money to go to WWE. I mean, I was reading about it today, and they offered the Bucks almost the same as AJ Styles. And AJ Styles, of course, a main event talent with a championship. Suzuki now stalking the ground in Okada and spears him down to the ground. Okada struggling. Nice close down right over the top by Okada. And Okada's going to try and win this by count out by the looks of it. Suzuki front chancery. Nice knee in the gut. And locks in the sleeper hold here on Okada. If Okada goes out, then Suzuki's going on to our first pay-per-view. Okada's starting to wane. Okada's... No, he's not out. Suzuki goes for the pin. Okada was out. Okada was completely out. The referee did not give it, though. So Suzuki had to go for the pin. I'm surprised the referee didn't give it. It's like Okada just sort of choked him out. Sorry, Suzuki just sort of choked him out to the point where he was just completely out. And the referee normally gives the match at that point in time. He normally stops it just for the health and safety of the competitors, but he did not in this case. And Suzuki was forced to just drop Okada and basically just pin him. And it is going to be Suzuki versus Shibata in our first main event for the pay-per-view, which I've not named as yet because I want to see what arenas are available. For the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, that's going to be a real hard-hitting match, that one, I tell you. A real hard-hitting match. And Suzuki is victorious. Like I said, Suzuki has requested a match against Jay White for some retribution, and that will be coming in the next couple of episodes as well. Anyway, then, that is the end of our first episode of our New Japan Pro Wrestling Universe mode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have enjoyed it, then please do hit the like button. It really does help out on this video, especially one of the first videos in the series. Really lets me know this is something you're interested in seeing. Plus, it makes it easier for other people to find this series and hopefully grow the channel, that sort of shebang. And of course, if you are new around here and you found this video, then please consider hitting that subscribe button as well to watch more of this content. We are uploading 4 episodes of Universe Mode every week. At the moment, 2 New Japan, 2 205 Live. And then on the days in between, we're uploading a random match. And lots of other stuff going on as well. I record and upload far too much, to be honest with you. People have mentioned it recently in the comments, especially over Christmas and that. I record, at the moment I'm uploading either 3 or 4 videos a day. And the thing is, a lot of people don't watch the other stuff. I'm doing FIFA, I'm playing Final Fantasy, I'm playing XCOM, Foot Manager. People don't watch it, but it's the stuff that I enjoy doing. And if I wasn't recording it if I wasn't recording and uploading it, I'd still be playing it anyway, so I might as well record it. I enjoy doing it, so why not? Why the hell not? Anyway, enough of my blabbing on. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow for our next episode of the 205 Live, or I will see you on Tuesday for our next episode of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Bye.